Well, good evening. Bona tarda. Buenas tardes. Welcome to this massive press conference with Ivan Rakitic. Benvinguts. Recordeu de dir el nom del mitjà abans de formular la pregunta i és una sola pregunta per torn. Just please say the name of the media that you are representing before asking the question. There's one question for each journalist. Thank you. We'll try to go as quick as possible. Thank you.
Bona tarda. Laura Aparicio, Barça TV.
Good afternoon, Ivan. What do you think about the midfield in Chelsea? It's one of the most physical, most powerful in Europe. Thank you.
Knowing all Chelsea's players, we know they're very strong. It's not going to be an easy game. They work very well on the minor details. They're very united as a team. They're going to make life difficult for us on the pitch. And so we're going to have to do everything we can to enter this battle.
¿Cómo afrontáis el primer partido de una eliminatoria a 180 minutos o a lo mejor 210? Fundamental marcar, un 0-0 es un resultado peligroso.
Would you say 0-0 would be a dangerous result? You always start the game without thinking about what might happen, what might not. We'll do everything we can tomorrow to win the match. We want to score a goal away from home. We know it's not going to be the easiest thing to do, but that's all we know how to do, is how to win. And we'll have to see how we can do.
Acá Iván, Cristian Martín de Fox Sports América Latina, te quería preguntar cómo lo ves a Leo en esta etapa, en la segunda etapa de la temporada.
I want to see what your thoughts are on this second stage of the season. Barcelona have found it very difficult against Chelsea in the past. Do you think Leo needs to not play as much ahead of the World Cup? Leo works very hard. He's obviously been in the gym a lot in recent years, looking after himself. We're obviously having a hard training session every day, giving 100%. And we need him a lot. There's not a lot of time to relax and look after yourself. But we need Leo. We need Leo Messi. And obviously everyone hopes that they play in the World Cup and goes into it fit and not injured. And you want to play in the World Cup against the very best, and that's the same for me, the same for Leo. And I'd love to play against Leo at the World Cup.
Ivan, if you wouldn't mind answering in English, if that's okay. A question from the BBC. Could you compare this Barcelona team this season, the system that you play, the style that you play, compared to last season, and what the demands are specifically on you in your position?
Yeah, it's quite different, because it's different for us if you're playing with 3 strikers or now with 2, and of course it's different if you have a Neymar in your team or now without him. The most important thing that we can understand what happened on the pitch. So we have to be ready. We know that for us now, with 1 player more in the midfield, it's a little bit easier to close this direct line to our goal, and wait for this moment to do this pressure together. We have to work it together. We know that there are a lot of things for us to work to do it better in every game, but it's quite easy if you play with 3 strikers or now with 2. So we have to change. But of these first 3 or 4 games, yeah, we take it really fast, and now it's normal for us. So maybe to change again to play with 3 strikers, it will be a little bit hard again for us. But yeah, we have to do it together, and we have to show it also tomorrow.
Iván, aquí atrás, detrás de las cámaras, aquí, detrás de las cámaras, en el centro, mirando al centro, soy muy grande. ¿Qué tal? Carlos Escolar en directo para T4 Radio Marca. Se hablaba mucho de que el partido contra el Eibar, por las dimensiones del campo, por su forma de jugar...
We spoke a lot about the way Eibar played, the tough pitch.
No sé si, evidentemente, salvando
I don't know if you can make any comparisons with Chelsea.
la presión arriba, el equipo aguerrido,
Pressing you high up the pitch,
buscando la espalda.
trying to get the ball off you in defence.
Creo que si hoy mismo jugaremos el Eibar,
Obviously, we played against Eibar,
será el mismo como ha sido el otro día.
but I don't think it'll be the same as that day against Chelsea.
Esa presión sí nos puede servir, porque mañana también seguramente nos van a apretar muchísimo.
I don't know if Chelsea are going to press us as high as Eibar did.
Con todo el respeto hacia el Eibar o también ahora al Chelsea. Creo que cada partido es diferente.
And with all respect to Eibar and Chelsea, each game is different.
Mañana vuelve la Champions,
Obviously, we're returning to the Champions League this week.
la verdad tremenda
It's an amazing competition.
por la competición, por las ganas que tenemos de jugar los grandes partidos.
All players want to play in these massive games on the big stage,
Prepararnos bien de la mejor manera posible
and we're well prepared in the best way possible,
los partidos
like we are with all the games.
antes y estar mañana, bueno, pues sinceramente en nuestra mejor forma.
And tomorrow we're going into the game in the best form.
Iván, aquí, hola, muy buenas. Adrián Alves de la cadena SER. Por la dinámica que lleva el equipo este año, parece prácticamente imbatible, imposible ganaros.
The team seems unbeatable this year.
Favoritos, ligeramente favoritos para mañana.
Do you think Barcelona are favourites for tomorrow?
Bueno, ojalá sea así en ese sentido de decir que lo que queremos hacer es
In this sense, what we want to do is just play another game.
bueno, pues sinceramente reinar o manejar lo que pasa en el campo.
Manage the game, control the game.
Lo que vamos haciendo, la verdad va muy bien.
What we're doing at the moment is going very well. Everything seems to be going to plan.
Claro,
That's clear.
bueno, mañana jugamos contra
But tomorrow we're playing against the English champions, so it's obviously going to be a hugely tricky game.
al 100%.
We have to give 100% to be able to win the game.
Ganar el partido de mañana sin pensar después a la vuelta,
So we have to win the game tomorrow and not worry about the second leg
como aquí en Stamford Bridge, así que
in Stamford Bridge tomorrow, and that's the aim, to win the game.
máxima
We will give our everything
eso para hacer un partido perfecto.
to make sure that happens.
Ivan, Carrie Brown, being Sports, everyone's talking, of course, about your main man, Lionel Messi. What's the view in the Barcelona dressing room of Eden Hazard and your view on him as a player? Is he world class?
Yeah, for me he is. He's maybe the most important player for Chelsea, but we know that Chelsea is not only Hazard, but for sure we have to be ready tomorrow to stop him. We know that he's really fast, that he searches 1 against 1, and I think if his last games, he's in really good form. So we have to be ready for him, but also for the whole team. So it will be a really special game tomorrow, and we have to enjoy together.
Hi, Ivan. Dharmesh Sheth from Sky Sports. Some of the players from the last time Barcelona and Chelsea met still remain at Barcelona. Have you spoken to them, and how big a motivation was that result going into these 2 games?
Yeah, I think it will be really different. I spoke just a little bit with Andres about this game, about his goal, about his special moments. He also told me about his first 30 minutes when they get behind 3-0, and we spoke a lot about this pressure in the first minutes, about the stadium. But I think tomorrow it will be a different game. So what happened before, we have to forget it. And tomorrow we have to do our best game. So also I think Andres and all these guys, they played a lot of games here, and for sure, they have a special feeling for this game tomorrow.
Hola Iván, Elena Condis, Cadena COPE. Stamford Bridge es muy especial para Andrés Iniesta. ¿Qué significa para ti el capitán? Y no sé si te da miedo el pensar que se puede ir a final de temporada del Barça.
Sí me da miedo, y mucho, y no lo quiero.
Of course I'm scared. As we all are. The other day I found a bottle of wine. And we need to make sure that we can enjoy as many moments as we can with Andrés Iniesta, in case he does leave in the future. Even when I was away from Barcelona, before I joined them, you could see that Andrés was such an integral member of the team. And I hope he has many more years with us. And he's a good friend of mine, so what I want is for him to be happy, for him to be enjoying it. And he has to know that I'll always be by his side, whatever he decides.
¿Qué te han contado de ese día, del día del golazo de Iniesta en Stamford Bridge? ¿Qué es lo que sabes de ese día? ¿Cómo lo viviste tú? Y no sé si habéis hablado con Iniesta pues, de hacer un gol así mañana, que lo haga.
Pues así o como sea. Ojalá, bueno, no, tampoco hemos hablado demasiado de todo eso.
I haven't spoken too much with Leo and Andrés about that, the last game. But we know the emotion that there'll be in tomorrow night's game. It's going to be a very different game. We have to forget about everything that's happened and do the best game we possibly can and win it. In what is a great stadium, in what is the biggest stage. We have to work very hard, as we know. We're very excited for the game to start now.
Hola Iván, aquí, delante tuyo. David Ibáñez de Mediaset Sport. Se había hablado mucho de que el Paris Saint-Germain, por todo el gasto que hizo.
We've spoken a lot about Paris Saint-Germain and the money that they've spent to sign Neymar. They seem to be the main favourites for the competition.
Parece que ya no lo es tanto, que el Madrid sí que es un favorito. ¿Tú cómo ves ese favoritismo de la Champions? ¿Sois el Madrid y el Barça los verdaderos favoritos?
Historically, it's been Madrid and Barcelona as the favourites. Do you think that's still the case? We have to speak about the champion at the moment, that's Real Madrid. And it's normal that they're the favourites or up there. And then obviously Paris have signed Neymar, so they have to be considered. And that's normal. There's a pressure on us as well. And we always see ourselves up there with the best. But with all respect, there's a lot of other teams that could potentially win it. And to win every game is a very hard thing to do these days. So we want to just keep going as we're going, in the good form we're in. And so we just can't leave any moment on the pitch. We've got to play the game like it's our last and give everything to win.
Hola Iván, aquí detrás. Aquí. Tú, Chavérez para Diario Marca. Has elogiado el 4-4-2 porque os ayuda a controlar las contras.
You're now playing in a 4-4-2 more often than not.
¿Tú prefieres adaptarte a la posición de doble pivote al lado de Sergio?
Do you prefer playing in the position next to Sergio Busquets? Or do you prefer to play on the left or the right? Where are you most comfortable? Above all, I just want to play the game. Wherever's best for the team, I'll play. Wherever the manager chooses. I do obviously feel a bit more comfortable in the middle. That's where I've played at my best with the national team. Where I've done my best matches, where I've felt most comfortable. Obviously having Busquets very close to me really helps and helps the whole team. But every game's different. You have to see what the opponent is all about and react accordingly. So I'll play wherever I need to play. And I know my teammates can count on me to give my best, whether I play in the middle or on the side.
Hola Iván, aquí. Marc Marvá de la portería de BTV. El Chelsea normalmente está jugando con este 3-5-2.
Chelsea normally play with a 3-5-2, with fullbacks very wide. How does Barcelona need to adapt defensively with their 4-4-2 to cope with this Chelsea team? Well, knowing their manager as I do a little bit, he's very meticulous. He's going to make sure every last detail has been decided. And we need to do the same. And we have to just focus on ourselves above all. We've obviously analysed all the strong points of Chelsea. We understand them. And to beat Chelsea, you have to be at your very, very best. We need to do an almost perfect game. And they will have obviously looked at all the specific details of us. And so now we just need to go out and enjoy the game, do our very best, play our style of football, and hope that it's enough.